Manchester United raised ticket prices mid-season. Sir Jim Ratcliffe looking for some cash. The club, as we know, in debt, losing money, and they're trying to take it from the fans' pockets. That has led to a lot of controversy. The Stop Exploiting Loyalty social media campaign across like Newcastle, even the Scouse Bastards as well. The 1958 very vocal against raising the ticket prices to £66. For total context, seats this season started at $40 for adults and $25 for children. This excludes season tickets. This is just if you went as a member online to buy tickets, it'd be $25 for a kid, $40 for adults, and then Jim Ratcliffe went to 66. Interesting number. Why not go to 69, sir? It's like 66 is weird, like 65, 60, 70. It's just kind of a weird amount. Regardless, everyone's like flipping out. Over 50% increase mid-season. They're obviously looking at the financials. It's not looking great. I mean, you don't do this move unless you're hurting for cash. And fans are going to have to pay more to go to Old Trafford. Obviously, we have season tickets. We're kind of locked in. But I expect a big increase next year.
I mean, this is one of those few things that actually the Glazers get credit for. They kept their tickets quite low compared to the rest of the teams in the EPL, or at least like versus the big teams, right? Versus how Arsenal have raised tickets so much over the last decade. So this was always coming. It's just about what's coming now, given how big of a change this is, right? To go from 40, it's not like we went from 40 to like 48. They went from 40 to 66. I mean, that is a giant step up, and that makes many people fear that there's a giant step up coming next year for the season tickets. And I have to say, okay, I think they're trying to do it with the non-season ticket holders that will, cut a little bit less for the people who are going week in, week out. But at the same time, I knew prices were going to go up with them coming in, but I thought they'd be smart about it and do it slowly. Like, this is such a step up that I can't imagine they're gonna increase season ticket prices next year by 50%. Because if they did, that's going to cause a lot of backlash, and they're going to lose a lot of goodwill very quickly, and that's my concern, because they're not going to raise prices 50%, bro. That's big, right? That's crazy.
Well, supply and demand, right? At a certain point, I'm a ruthless capitalist. At the end of the day, being an American Red Devil, I got to give you like, hey, you want to go to a 49ers game? Here's all the tickets. Here's the free market price. This is what people will pay for it on a secondary market. This is exactly what you would pay to go to it. You can wait. The price can drop. You cannot. It's very liquid. Anyone can sell your tickets. You go to England to watch soccer, not a liquid market. The tickets are artificially depressed in price, and that's why they go for £500 on the secondary market, because it's illegal to resell your tickets as a season ticket holder, and they artificially decrease the price of the tickets. Now, how long can you keep that lid on before you just open it to the world? Now, I don't think you should, but there should be some sort of exchange where fans traveling internationally could pay a premium through the ticketing services to go to. I think there's just the way tickets work in the UK for football is kind of bizarre. It should be much more liquid and kind of open environment where fans can resell. That's not the case now. That's why we have these artificially cheap tickets. Now, £66 isn't cheap.
No.
Right? So they're getting closer, because if Fulham comes to town, are you going to be able to sell every ticket for £66? Why are the tickets in better seats not more expensive than the seats in the nosebleeds? It's a very bizarre way to price tickets at Old Trafford, because then you just have this hospitality ticket that's like really expensive, but that's in a box. This is literally, it makes no sense that this ticket on the second yard line is the same as the ticket in the rafters. But this is just the way ticketing is in the UK. And what this tells me is Ratcliffe's hurting for cash.
Yeah.
And there's a great chart we can show you that shows you the financial debt versus cash situation in Manchester United, which is debt is increasing, cash is decreasing. And Ratcliffe, they're firing people. They're raising tickets mid-season. This is telling you everything you need to know about the financial picture of Manchester United. Oh, by the way, we need to fund a new stadium. So that's going to come with some bells and whistles and a sponsorship, et cetera. That's not going to please anyone. The financial picture at United is top of mind for Ratcliffe. The footballing picture, they have done a good job to address that, but the financial picture is a big one, and we're just starting to feel the screws with this ticket price increase.
And this will be the last shoe to drop, right? Because there's a lot of things to finance, right? This new manager that we brought in that was not part of the plan as of a couple of months ago, that cost money. It cost real money. So I think this what tells you is that they didn't want to do this right now. They haven't even been here for a year. I think it's much dire than, well, we know. I mean, we look at the finances for years and years, but it's bad. The debt's going up, the cash is going down, and that's not a great place to be in, especially when top four or even Europe right now isn't a lock. So I think, like you said, I think you nailed it. It's basically the market is super inefficient where the people who get season tickets are paying a price that's below market, even if like they've gotten used to it, and that's fine. And everybody else who has to buy on the quote-unquote open market or buy a ticket who's not a season ticket holder or doesn't have access to that is paying a huge premium, right? So it's like you need to kind of meet somewhere in the middle where the base prices should be a little higher or, like you said,
no, it's just be a floating open market. But United won't let us resell the ticket, right? So the whole idea is that if I'm a season ticket holder of the San Francisco Giants, I get all the tickets and I can sell them for whatever I want. Why can't you sell them?
I know, but what they buy them for. I'm talking about what they pay the Giants for the ticket. United, it should not be every ticket's the same. Yeah, the tickets are more expensive. The better tickets are more.
Yes, exactly.
And the crappier tickets are less.
And then guess what happens? If the team sucks and I can't sell my tickets for a profit or I can't break even, then I don't buy the season tickets. Then nobody buys them, and then they have available season tickets. Then they have to lower the price. It's about finding a market price for these tickets, and it's like the idea that it's like £30.
Regardless of where you sit. That's the whole point
seat,
I'm trying to make.
It's like, yeah.
Every seat should be the same.
It's like, no, it's kind of like it's like a legacy ticketing service. Like we can't
exactly
get
right.
like
Exactly
I'd be like, hey, I'll pay more. Like you do have to pay more for a season ticket in a different section, but I can't even get to that section.
But a little
and I
more,
asked him,
but
hey,
it's not that much more.
But I asked him, hey, how do I get improved section? They're like, oh, you have to buy every ticket in the season, and then it comes to the end of the season. Hey, is that how it works? And they're like, no, it just could be an open free for all, whatever you want to do. And they change it every year. Like ticketing is a nightmare here. And I'm just trying to provide an example where I think it should just be free floating and people can resell the tickets. And that way we can find what these are worth. I think the issue is we don't know what these tickets are worth because they're artificially depressed in price. And I understand fans protesting for that, but is that really how this league is supposed to work? Is to artificially depress the price of the tickets so that only local people can go to the games and the international community has to then buy them on the secondary market for like £500. And those are being sold by, United fans in some capacity, right?
And we've done that game. I mean, we played that game for so long before we got our season tickets 5 years ago or 4 years ago. It's like, that sucks. It's unpleasant. And it's kind of the nature of the game for a long time coming to United was that the locals who are bought in and have been fans and season ticket holders, like they get to go. Obviously, they live close, but their match day cost is so much lower. And if you want to come visit, you're paying like $200 a ticket minimum. And then if it's a big game and a decent seat, it could be $400, $500. So it's like the market is completely inefficient. It's completely broken. They need to do a couple things at once. They need to have a liquid market, but also when they sell the season tickets in the first place, should be tiering like when you're, like you said, Giants, Yankees. It's like, the seats around first base are a lot more than the ones in the bleachers.
No, but it should be like local. We have like a local allotment.
Yeah,
we have
young allotment. They have one for young people.
Exactly. We have an international allotment. We have like
it's very thoughtful.
Like, by the way, if you're a local and we're selling them to you for £24 a ticket, you can't resell them.
Right.
Oh, by the way, if we're going to open it up and you're going to be international, you can resell. Like the lens through the aperture through which the ticketing situation is being viewed is so narrow, and we're hearing from one voice that is basically like the local community that wants the seats very cheap. But this is a global sport. I mean, imagine going to the Yankees and being like, I want to buy tickets to the Yankees, $20. It'd be like, someone would be like, no, you have to pay whatever it costs. You have to pay as a season ticket holder, your prices go. The Yankees are better. There's more demand. The prices are going to go up. That's just the way. It's a free market. It's like
we're used to things just going up, and that's just the nature of the beast.
No, but you can't subsidize. Manchester United is not in the business. It's a public company.
It has been.
It's a public company. They can't be in the business of subsidizing cheap tickets so that people don't burn it. This is coming. Super League's coming. Open ticketing is coming. Like playing games overseas is coming. I mean, it's just how long can they? And by the way, Ratcliffe didn't make this investment if he wasn't thinking about something like this. Like this is on the way to that.
Because he's not even trying to he's just trying to have as much money as possible to invest in the stadium, invest in the team, invest in the facilities and all that. And that means maximizing revenue. And the way you do that is like, hey, we have outsized demand and the price is too low and we're going to raise those prices. And he's going to piss people off. And you know what? They're going to piss a lot of fans off who are vocal, who've been going to the club for a long time, including the 1958s of the worlds. And I feel for them. You know, it's a huge part about the fan base is like taking care of the people that go in when we've been shit week in, week out. But at the end of the day, it's like we have to compete against the cities and the villas and the Arsenals who have, you know, they didn't have this $1 billion in debt that we're carrying
Also,
around our
new
fucking
stadium.
neck,
How are we
right?
going to pay
That's
for a new
another
stadium?
$2 billion in debt now. So it's like we need to make as much money as humanly possible. They're going to raise prices. They're going to sell off the stadium naming. And I think people have to just get used to it because it sucks. But that's just the game. Like you said, you think, you know, the game has changed. Look at the World Cup. Everything's changed. Everything's all about money. And I just think it's not going back.
I don't think it's I don't think it's all about money. So I do agree with the 1958 that this is outlandish. Like that's an insane price increase. Mid-season is crazy.
And 55, whatever it is, huge price increase.
Ticketing should be just thought of in a different way, where there's clearly a local community where the ticket, like it should be like locked in, right? Season tickets should be locked in to a certain extent, where it's like a clear increase every season.
Complicated.
Yeah, and then, but what I'm advocating for is that, like, instead of international fans like us or American Red Devils who want to travel to go to United, there should be some availability to purchase tickets, which there are here in the £66. But because you can't resell your tickets, the only way if you want as a United fan, you have to go to bad games if you're traveling internationally, or then you have to go into the secondary market, pay for like exorbitant ticket fees. Otherwise, you can't go ever because you don't have season tickets. And that's not necessarily fair either. So there's something to do where you could have this resale market subsidized locals or something like that where everyone could win. But Ratcliffe just going for the big juice on the price. And that's a surprising move, but it tells me that this financial situation is dire at United. Don't expect us to sign Gorkies anytime soon.
No. I think we need to sign the next Gorkies or some from our academy, but it's going to take a while. You know, like they inherited a mess. We need them to be much more thoughtful and disciplined about how we spend money and incur debt than the last guys. So that's what we need, and that's not going to be fun. It's going to be painful for fans. Ticket prices, you know, like American Express Stadium at Old Trafford, like whatever's coming, something's coming, dude, and we're not going to like it, by the way, and it's coming. It's coming within the next couple of years, so it is.
Well, you see the dead rat in the water at Old Trafford? Like, at least that's going to go, though.
That's going to go. Yeah, like the piss warm Carling and the urine on the floor are going to go, but then our tickets will probably be double.
Yeah.
That sucks, but it is what I don't know.
It's going to hit us. Hey, look.
It's going to hit us.
I just thought it was inevitable.
Exactly.
So I'm not pro Super League, and I'll close this out. I'm not pro Super League. I'm not pro playing games in the United States. I know it's coming because you can look at the NFL, and the NFL is doing wildly successful, and EPL is literally looking at the NFL and being like, we're going to do that. And it's like ticketing is going to be a part of it. Streaming is going to be part of it. Traveling to other countries is going to be part of it. More games is going to be part of it. And more exciting games, like diluted games against Bayern Munich for no reason, is going to be part of it, just like the FIFA Club World Cup. Like, all this is coming. I hate it. I want it to be like the way it was old school, but I'm just saying, hey, this is happening. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Please like, subscribe. Only 50% of our viewers actually subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 1,000. Hope everyone has a good holidays, and we'll catch you on the next one.